Here we are live. First time ever live on YouTube. Wow. Hi, 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 hi. Hope you are doing great. My first time ever to going live on YouTube. I have some good nuggets I want to share with you this morning. It's Zoe from Cameroon here. Always a pleasure to be your host here. I want us to share on a topic that I think and that I strongly believe will help us understand what is the true meaning of money or what is the true use of money. In fact, I want to talk to you about money misconceptions of misreadings about money. Is very, 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 very important for us to understand that. Wow, if you are watching this video live or on replay, just leave a comment to help us know where you are watching us from. It is my first time going live on YouTube. It's a very first experience. And I want us to have some fun and to get some value from this life. I'm from Cameroon, Central Africa, very passionate about God, passionate about personal leadership, passionate about success, passionate about making an impact while making a fortune. Is very, very dear to my heart, all those topics. And I want us to share about some misconceptions, misreadings about money. First of all, I want to tell you this: your way of seeing life or your way of interpreting things in life will tremendously impact your income and your result in life, because the way you see things will impact the way you will behave concerning that things, or the way you will interact with that thing. If you believe that something is evil, you will never get any advantage in using that thing. If you believe that something is evil, you will never be able to attract that thing. If you believe that something is not good for you, in fact, you are subconsciously programming yourself never to have that thing in your life, never to attract that thing in your life, and never to be successful in accumulating that thing in your life. It's very important for us to understand that our perception is very powerful. In fact, none of us see the world and life as it is. All of us, we have mental glasses through which we are looking at the world, through which we are interpreting the world, through which we are interpreting the events in the world. And our mental glasses come from our mental program. And when I'm talking about our mental program, I'm talking about the beliefs that have been rooted in our subconscious mind. I'm talking about the beliefs that have been planted in our subconscious mind. And when I'm talking about the belief, I'm talking about those things we accepted as truth, those concepts, those philosophy we are accepted as truth, because a belief is something that I have accepted as truth without questioning it. A belief is a philosophy I self myself into and I have accepted as a truth without questioning it. When you accept something as truth, it becomes a belief. And your belief, when planted in your subconscious mind over a period of time, will become your mental program. Your mental program will become, therefore, that program that will run your life unconsciously, like a habit. It will turn, and it will change your way of looking at life, because that mental program will become at the same time your mental glasses. And your mental glasses is none other than your perception, because your perception is your way of seeing things, your way of approaching things, your way of understanding life, your way of interpreting the events of life. And that is very important, because the way you interpret things, the way you see things, the way you approach things will determine your result. Therefore, if what you have accepted as truth is not the truth, what does that mean? Your life is based on false beliefs, or your life is based on wrong beliefs. And if your life is based on wrong beliefs, it means that your mental program, which is running your life unconsciously and which is determining the kind of results you have, that mental program is not the right program for you. And that mental program also, it is your mental glasses. It means that you are wearing wrong mental glasses. It means that you are looking at the world and you are interpreting the events of the world wrongly, mistakenly. Why? Because in the first place, what you have accepted as truth is not the truth. And that is why it's very important for us to address those biblical misconceptions, those biblical misreadings. Many people are stuck financially. Many people are broke. Many people are be unable to perform effectively when it comes to money, when it comes to finances, just because of their misconceptions. And a misconception is very powerful in guiding you, in influencing you in your way of behaving, your way of thinking, your way of seeing, your way of reasoning, your way of taking action or acting, and at the end, your results. So, if you want to be financially free, if you want to be financially successful, you have to address those biblical misconceptions that the religion gave you, and you have accepted them as gospel. You have accepted that for granted. You do not question them. But I want to tell you that it's important to question our beliefs, because our beliefs are the roots of our lives. So you cannot accept something just because it had been said so. No. If something is the foundation of my life, therefore I have the right and even the obligation to question it, because I want to make sure that the foundation upon which I build my life is a strong foundation, is the right foundation. Because if you build your life on wrong foundation, you know what will happen. When you will face crisis, what you have been building will fall apart. So it's very important. Many people do not understand that the reason or the cause of their failure financially, it is the concepts they have about money. So by addressing those misconceptions, you are dealing with the root, with the foundation of your financial life. And I want just us to look at two biblical misconceptions. There are many, but I want to you and I to look at just two misconceptions. But those two misconceptions are the most spread misconception all over the world. The first misconception comes from the book of Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. And that verse says this: the love of money is the root of all evil. Many of us know this verse. Many of us know this verse. The love of money is the root of all evil. Let us look at that verse and let us understand what that verse means. Many people, by reading that verse or by listening to someone who read that verse, listen instead of listening that the love of money is the root of all evil. Many people just listen that money is the root of all evil. That is not what this verse says. This verse is clear. This verse talks about the love of money, not the money. This verse talks about the motivation, the drive behind the person who want to acquire money, who want to accumulate wealth. The motivation, it is the problem or can be the problem. Money is not the problem. Money is not the cause of all evil. Money is just an instrument. Money is just a tool. Money doesn't have feelings. We are talking about a feeling here. The love of money. Money doesn't have feelings. It is the person who has the money who has feelings. So the problem is not with the money, but the problem is with the person holding the money or the person running after money. And here, the apostle is speaking to us concerning the fact that we have to be careful about the feelings that drive us to go after money, because a wrong drive can cause us to have a wrong motive, and a wrong motive can be the root cause of all evil in our lives. So it's not about money. Money has no problem. There is nothing bad in having money or a lot of money. There is nothing bad in being rich. What is bad or what is wrong? It is the wrong motive. If you live for money and you use people to have money, that is a wrong drive. There are people who use other people to have money, because for them, other people who use money to serve people. They are not defined by money. They have a lot of money, but they are defined by the service they render or they provide to other people. You see, in this example, there is a difference in the motivation of these two kind of people. There is this category of persons, of people who use people to get money. They live for money. Money is the definition of their self-concept. For them, money is everything. For them, we live to have money. We are here to accumulate a lot of money. They have this scarcity mindset. They think that we are here to acquire and to accumulate as much as we can. They don't understand that we are here to serve the world. We are here to contribute. We are here to bring value. And that money is the result of that value. They don't understand that we are here to fulfill our purpose, and that every purpose needs money to be fulfilled. They use their purpose, people, and other stuff to get money. But there is another category of people who use money to fulfill their purpose, who use money to take care of themselves, take care of their family, serving the world, bringing value to the world, and they understand that money is just a byproduct of them serving the world with efficacy. This example is very important for us to get because money has no problem. Money is good. The Bible says that money belongs to God. How come that something that belongs to God can be evil? How come that something that was created by God is evil? There is nothing evil about money. If there is something evil, it's about the person holding the money, the person handling the money, because money cannot love. The only person who can love is a human being. And this verse says this, the love that is the cause, not the money that the person loves, but it is the love that the person has for that money. That is the problem. And you have to make the difference. You don't have to get confused. It is the money that the person has for it is the love that the person has for the money. It is not the money that the person loves. No, it is the feeling, the motivation, the drive. We are not here to live or to love money. We are here to love people. That is the thing for which we are here. We are here to love people. When you love money, and I want you to understand this. In this verse, when it is said that the love of money, this doesn't mean that loving money is bad. But what is bad here is loving money more than God, loving money more than people, loving money more than your purpose, loving money more than your calling. So you have to understand there is nothing wrong in liking money, in wanting money, in wanting to accumulate as much as you can. No, there is nothing wrong with that. The problem starts when you love money more than God, when you love money more than your values, when you love money more than your purpose, when you love money more than your calling. That is where the problem starts. So there is nothing wrong in loving money, simply loving money, no. But it's a love that is related to another love. The first love we have install and to have in our heart, it is the love for God. We have to love God more than anything else, and we have to love people as us. That is a command. And after that, everything we do has to be to fulfill those two kind of love: our love for God and our love for people. Our accumulation of money must serve our love for God and our love for people. But the moment you start loving money more than God and more than people, that is the cause and the root of all evil. So you have to understand that money has no feelings. Money is not evil. Money has no problem. There is nothing wrong with accumulating a lot of money. The problem starts when money takes the place of God or money takes the place of people. We are here to use money to feed our love for God and to feed our love for people, because money is a tool that can help us express our love for God and our love for people, because love gives. And one of the way you give, it is by using the money you have accumulated to give something of value to other people. And at the same time, by serving people and serving God, you create opportunities to accumulate more and more money. So, about this verse, I want you to understand there is nothing wrong with money. The problem starts when the person who holds the money loves that money more than God and more than people. That is the first misconception about money I wanted us to look at together. The second misconception comes from another verse, the verse of Matthew chapter 8, verse 36. The verse says this: For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Many people misread this verse. Many people misconceived this verse. This verse is not about helping us understand that it's wrong to gain the world. There is nothing wrong in gaining the world. There is nothing wrong in being great. There is nothing wrong in being famous. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, Jesus Christ was famous. Even today, Jesus is famous. There is nothing wrong in being famous. There is nothing wrong in being great. Jesus is great. So there is nothing wrong with that. Jesus came to gain the world and he succeeded. That is why even today the gospel of the kingdom is being spread all over the place, all over the world. It's being preached all over the world. Why? Because Jesus succeeded in gaining the world. So there is nothing wrong in gaining the world. There is nothing wrong in being great. There is nothing wrong in being famous. What is wrong is when you sacrifice your soul. What does that mean? Your values, who you are at the core, because you want to be great, because you want to be famous, because you want to be rich. That is where the problem starts. The problem starts when you sacrifice your values for money, when you sacrifice your value for greatness, when you sacrifice your value for being famous. That is the problem. There is nothing wrong in gaining the world. In fact, my prayer is to gain the world as I have gained my God, I have gained my salvation. My prayer is this: God, give me the grace not just to gain the kingdom of God, but with the kingdom of God to gain the world, because there is nothing wrong in gaining the world. The problem is when to gain the world, you do it at the expense of your values, at the expense of your soul, at the expense of your kingdom status. That is dangerous. But many people today, even in churches, they are preaching and they are teaching people that gaining the world is evil. Who said to you that gaining the world is evil? It is not evil. What is evil is sacrificing your soul to gain the world. But in fact, when you read the Bible, you understand this, that Jesus even came to this world to gain the world. Jesus came to this world to take over. And when he left, he told us this: occupy till I come. Go through all the nations and make of them disciples. Make disciples of nations. This is the command of God. So the purpose of Jesus is to gain the world, is to take back the world, is to take over. So there is nothing wrong in taking over an industry, in taking over a niche, in taking over a sector, in taking over a nation. There is nothing wrong with that, as long as you preserve your value. As long as you do not sacrifice your kingdom status, your soul, your salvation, because you want to be great, you want to be famous, you want to be rich. In fact, Jesus came to help us achieve that without the need for us to sacrifice our soul. With Jesus, you can gain the world without the need to sacrifice your soul, without the need to sacrifice your value, without the need to sacrifice your integrity, your kingdom status. It is very important for you to understand that there is nothing wrong in being great. There is nothing wrong in being famous. There is nothing wrong in having money. Those two misconceptions misguided many people, and they are still misguided many people. And I want to tell you, when you have accepted in your subconscious mind that money is evil, because of these two verses, these two verses that have been misread to you since your childhood, I want to tell you this: you will attract always what is in sync with what you have accepted in your subconscious mind. Let me repeat it. You will attract and you will manifest always events, circumstances, people that are in sync with what you have accepted as truth in your subconscious mind. Your results will never outperform the quality of your subconscious mind. Your results will never outperform the kind of beliefs you have planted in your subconscious mind. That is why it's very important, because you may be praying, you may be fasting, you may be tithing, you may be loving God, but despite all of that, you are still broke, and you don't understand why you are broke, because in your subconscious mind there is a belief that have been planted by maybe your parents, maybe your culture, maybe your environment, maybe your church, maybe the religion, that said to you that it is evil to go after money, because money is the root of all evil, or because what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world if he lose his own soul? They have misread those two verses to you. And in your subconscious, it means that it is unconsciously that these beliefs or this mental program is running your life unconsciously. That is why we talk about subconscious mind. It means that there is the conscious mind, and beneath the conscious mind, beneath the consciousness, there is another consciousness, but you are not aware of how that consciousness is running your life as a mental program. So it is very important to check the kind of beliefs you have planted in your subconscious mind. And those beliefs can be coming, can be there because of those misconceptions. That is why it is very important to address them and to ask yourself good questions. How do my parents, how did my parents, how did my pastor misread to me those verses? Or how did my pastor, how did my parents read to me those verses? How did they explain to me those verses? How do I understand those verses? Because a misconception about those two verses can ruin all your life when it comes to money. So it's very important for you and I to get them right starting from today. There is nothing wrong with love with money. There is nothing wrong with loving money, simply loving money. What is wrong is loving money more than God, loving money more than people, loving money more than your calling, loving money more than your purpose, loving money more than your values, because there are things that are more important than money. When you say to people that they don't have to love money, it means that for you, money is not important. But let me tell you this, money is important in our world. Money is important because to get something, you need money as a medium of exchange. In our monetary system, money is the center of exchange, a means of exchange, a medium of exchange. Without it, you cannot get what you need or what you want. So you cannot say to me that money is not important. So if money is important because money is a purchase power, it is the power to acquire. Money gives you the power to acquire things. Money gives you the power to purchase. Money gives you the power to acquire things. So money is important. And when something is important, people will tend to love it. There is nothing wrong in loving something that is important. But there is an hierarchy. There are things that are more important than money. Among them, God, people, your purpose, your calling, your salvation, your values, your status in the kingdom. These things are more important. Your children are more important. Your spouse is more important than money. But that doesn't mean that money is not important. So there is nothing wrong with simply loving money. There is wrong with misplacing your love for money or misplacing the love you are supposed to have for God and putting it on money. That is a problem. So it's very important for us to address those two misconceptions. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Can you leave a comment if you are online? It's a pleasure to have someone. It was the first time for me to be live on YouTube, and I decided to share with you those two biblical misconceptions because even if you are not a faith person, those two misconceptions I have addressed in this video have blocked many people because those two misconceptions have been uh, have been spread by many people, even outside of the church walls. Yes. So it's very important for you and for me to get them right. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a great person. Nothing wrong with being famous. Nothing wrong with being rich. The problem is that don't follow those things at the expense of purpose, at the expense of your kingdom status, at the expense of your calling, at the expense of your relationship with God, at the expense of your relationship with your children, with your spouse, at the expense of people. There is an hierarchy. There is nothing wrong with money. What is wrong? It is the person who is holding the money. That is why you have to go back, check those misconceptions, get them right, change your beliefs. That is had been planted in your subconscious mind in order for you to change the mental program that is running your life, to change your mental glasses, and to change your perception. And when you change your perception, you will change your results. This is what I wanted to share with you. I know there are many flaws in my English, and I'm still working on that because English is not my first language. I know that I have many things to learn to improve my proficiency, but I wanted more than anything else to share this message with you. And I hope you've got some value from this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with people you know may need this kind of content. Leave us some comments to help us know what is your take in this during this live. It was a pleasure for me to be your host, and it was Zoe from Cameroon, and I wish you success. Yeah.